Hello there again, and welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst of Lists, the finest resource for top 10 worst lists on the internet. A an amalgam of topics more diverse than any other top 10 worst list diversity listing topics and such. I'm your host for today's spirited and enlightened odyssey. Joaquin Slowly. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at my own stuff, but it's just so damn good. And today's top 10 worst list is stellar. I think it's going to provide a whole boatload of foamy extrusions that come out of you from a variety of angles due to the uproarious belly laughs in nonstop repetitive frequencies that you'll be experiencing throughout. And it's top 10 worst $10,000 pyramid game show prize round topics. Now, a lot of you who are less than 1,000 years old, like I am, might not necessarily remember the top $10,000 pyramid show game. I don't think it was a $10,000 pyramid for very long. I think it rapidly increased to $25,000 pyramid, and I think $100,000 pyramid. I think it became a $100,001 pyramid at some point. I'm not sure. I can't be quoted on that. But what it was like a word association thing where you couldn't use the word, was the regular competitive rounds between players. And then they'd have a prize round where they'd have a pyramid of, I think it was 6 categories that you had to give clues to your partner so that they could figure out what the topic was of those 6 different topics in order to win the aforementioned $10,000, etc., etc. So anyway, that's that for that. Before we get started, though, just a little bit of business. I've got some things I have to mention. Number one, I'm nuts. I can't be relied upon. I'm not nuts, in terms of like, trying to eat a pair of sidewall tires. I'm not that kind of nuts. I'm nuts in that I'm so different from, conventional societal expectations of what a human being should be like and act like and look like, unfortunately. But that I just don't fit in to the extent that a lot of people think that it's a sign of nuttiness. I think probably a better word for it would be colorful, eccentric, misunderstood, things like that. But I'm genius level. It's smart. I got that kind of level. I got something. It's not like I'm completely like whatever with the thing where people would say that, and they won't say that, but you'll see that you might think it. And I can't be trusted. I can't be relied upon, but that's a good thing. You shouldn't at this point, even with somebody who's so completely out of it that they couldn't possibly be a shill for the corporate ethos, which everything else is. So, even those alt-right media types who say, the mainstream media is lying to me. But my alt media, the Breitbarts, they're not lying. The Turning Points, whatever, and the Daily Buyers, the QAnons, they're not lying to me. Those guys are the real deal. Real deal. Joe Rogan wouldn't lie to me. Joe freaking Rogan. He doesn't lie, now does he? I watched the 3-hour interview. I did. I put myself through it. I felt it was important. I watched the Joe Rogan interview of Trump in the lead up to the election. What a joke. I mean, he doesn't ask him a serious question. Talk about the Lincoln bedroom for 20 minutes and just doesn't ask a single serious-minded question about how nuts and sadistic and narcissistic that Trump is, and talking about all of the where did the swamp get drained to? Where's the wall? How come you had like 1,000 different people? It was like a revolving door in your White House support staff and everything like that. Well, you were hiring all the best people, and 5 seconds after you hired them, you were firing them and calling them total garbage. It's all scripted, man. And Trump is talking a bunch of garbage. Like, who cares about any of that stuff that he talked about for 3 hours? Extreme fighting, boxing, whatever the hell they're talking about. I mean, a sport is not my cup of tea. It's too violent for me, and I watch that stuff and I think somebody's going to die with that stuff. But I acknowledge the fact that holy crap, that's a lot of work that goes into trying to be able to survive something and perform with that level of skill. It's just insanely incredible. But not something I want to see that a man who's dealing with enormous amounts of psychosis, 79 years old, running for the presidency. I want, and not dancing around to what was the opera song? Didn't he dance to an opera song for like a half an hour or something like that? Anyway, where was I? So look this stuff up, man. You should be looking up all this stuff. All this stuff. Do your own freaking fact checking. It's insane the amount of knowing that everybody around you is lying all the time and selling you on a social engineering disguised as cultural apparatus. That you wouldn't be looking this up all the time to try to figure out where the hell everything's at. You just don't want to take out the time, then you try to blame it on everybody else. That they told you to blame it on. Oh, we'll blame it on somebody else. Oh, it's your fault for not looking it up. You droll. Oh, I found something fun. Found a little fun piece of attached items down there. We're going for a scratch. Anyway, I'll tell you more about that. That'll be another list. Number 2, I'm not partisan. I'm not getting down with you guys anymore. I mean, you guys want to fight it out? Go ahead, fight it out. Have fun with it. I'm 100% freaking golden rule from here on in. However much longer it lasts. Do unto others as you would have done to you. Period. End of story. Nick Nolte. Another 48 hours. Gans. You're done. End of story. Was it the first one or the second one? I always forget. You're done. End of story. That's my Nick Nolte impression. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just. It's enough of the hatefulness already. I mean, these are all, you've got your hate groups and stuff like that. That's one thing. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, don't be stupid or childish. I'm not talking about the Klan and the QAnons and the Proud Boys and the ICE. I'm not talking about all those hateful people who are just looking to beat people's asses because of the color of their skin or the nature of what gets them off in the boudoir. I'm talking about, like the rank and file people. I mean, they're all victims. And we're all victims. And it's just, it's become impossible to be able to start defining how messed up people are and which one is most responsible for how bad things are overall. Because everybody's responsible. 2020 when Biden got elected, did nobody see that the guy was like 1 million years old and teetering on the edge of not being, I mean, Where was the grassroots movement to try to find a decent candidate then? They're still floundering around. The freaking candidate in 2026 for 2028, the leading candidate is Kamala, the least popular candidate from the 2020 debate season, primary season, who left the race with 0 delegates, who got less popular as a vice president, is the leading candidate for the Democratic. You couldn't come up with somebody that, just absolutely kicked everybody else's ass. It's been, since Obama that anybody really felt, excited about a candidate anywhere in the Democratic Party like that. And, obviously the Republicans are all tied up with this maniac, Trump, who's, fighting wars we can't afford. We're $39 trillion in debt. Wars that don't need to be fought. I don't want to get into a big, huge political thing, but anybody who's supporting any of these clowns is out of their frickin' mind. There's nothing laudable about either party right now. Democrats are sellouts. They're in bed with the right-wingers, the ultra-right-wingers. They're all trying to fool all the working-class people by talking to them, promising them representation. When they get into power, they get no representation. The way they folded their cards at the government shutdown at the tail end of 2025 is the most pathetic example of garbage I've ever seen in my life. Is the travel season, Thanksgiving and Christmas was about to come up. The Republicans had to cave, and then the Democrats caved out of nowhere, shocking everybody. And absolutely crestfallen members of the Democratic Party were like, "What the hell did you do? Why did we shut down the government in the first place? You're going to cave like nothing for nothing?" And then the big win, quote unquote, was that they were going to get a vote on extending healthcare, and it never. I don't know. Did it happen? I don't even know if it happened or not. It's just so weak-kneed and pathetic and that's part of how they get you. They know that the Republicans are going to be supporting the billionaire class, and that's all they care about. And yet people vote for them because the Democrats are so pathetic. Not the voters, although, but I'm talking about the leadership. Horrifying. What I've seen in the city of Chicago alone, where I'm from, the mayors of the city of Chicago have been so anti-working class that you can't even imagine that they have anything to do with the Democratic Party or representing people in the Democratic Party or representing the working class or the blue collar types. It's just so horrific and destructive that it's unlivable. And it can't be by accident. It has to be. There's no way. And the right wing. Oftentimes I bash the left wing on these top 10 lists for some reason or another. I don't know. It has nothing to do with the top 10 list. But sometimes I bash the left a lot. It's because I expect a lot more out of them, because the right wing is always supporting the corporations, and I hate the corporations. I hate both parties now because they're one part. As far as I'm concerned, they're just one party. All of them representing the corporations. There's nothing we're supporting. There's nobody representing the working class at all in our society anymore on any level or any avenue of pursuit. Either cultural, political, economic, or spiritual. So this list of today's list is put together. Might not seem like it's put together by like this is for real or anything like that, but it's put together by a team of former Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders who gathered together with me outside of the Johnson & Johnson, Walter E. Scott, what's that guy's name? Wilford Brimley, did all those buildings and stuff. Lord Wright, Alfred E. Newman, Wilbur Wright, Wilfred Wright, Wright. It's the right is somewhere in there. Right as rain. Right. Wright. Wilbur Wright. Architect. Albert Lloyd Wright. Come on. Frank Lloyd Wright. God damn it. Sorry. Albert Lloyd Wright. Alfred Wright. Lord. The outside front of the Frank Lloyd Wright designed Johnson & Johnson Corporate Center is where they gather together to take copious doses of Macallan 25 mixed with paint fumes in order to be able to come up with these lists. And of course, here comes the absolute worst. Talk about worst lists. Talk about the worst part of the list is the commercial sponsor jokes that always seem to land fairly flat-footed. New Kids on the Block, coming soon to a local marijuana dispensary near you. Mickey Minaj, a combination of Mickey Mouse and Nicki Minaj, the Mickey Minaj Club. Oh man, these are bad. The from the producers of the Angina Molecule monologues comes the Pee-hole monologues. The vagina monologues. Sorry, what did I say? The angina. That would have been funnier. New from the producers of the vagina monologues comes the angina monologues, starring me. I'm gonna have an angina any minute now, any second now. Anglo-Saxon Fifth Avenue. These are so bad. They're always so bad. Hedwig and the Angry Grinch. I love that movie, by the way. Hedwig and the Angry Grinch. The music's great. Everything's great. It's wacky as all hell. It's so good. So horribly abhorrent to like mainstream types of people and stuff. They'll see that stuff and be like, and you gotta love that. Woo! All right, so let's get on with it then, shall we? I think I've covered all the regrettable bases here. This is my top 10 worst $10,000 pyramid game show prize round topics. Number 10, things your toilet would say if it could talk. I know what my toilet would say if it could talk. It'd be like, sanctuary. Number 9, things that you would find. Top 10 worst $10,000 pyramid game show topics. Things you would find inserted into a Halloween apple obtained in a neighborhood trick or treat. Now that's not nice. Not funny either. Number 8, specific clothing items you'd pack for a vacation to Cabo San Lucas. That'd be a tough prize. How would you give that clue away? I mean, really, how did that go? Like, oh, here's things that you pack in a suitcase. Oh, you can't say any of that stuff. Oh, yeah, you could say suitcase. It goes in the suitcase, and it's got like a thing, and Sammy Hagar, hey, yeah, Cabo Wabo. Oh, wait, no, see, I'd get buzzed for that. I said Cabo. See, tough. Number 7, sex toys. Oh, so number 7 of the top 10 pyramids game show prize round topics. Sex toys you bring with you to a baseball game. Hey, look, don't hate the player, hate the game, buddy. Hate the baseball game. Wouldn't it be funny if somebody came up and caught an errant foul ball into the stands with a fleshlight? Number 6 of the top 10 worst things a grief counselor would say after you gouge their eyes out with a grapefruit spoon. Unpleasant, not funny. this list better get a lot funnier. The second half here, the first half has been Dud City, USA. Number 5, things a couch might say after J.D. Vance put the Spurs to it. That's right. Been there. Well-trodden territory here. So I'm going to have to offer a lot of apologies here and maybe money back, which was not fully guaranteed. It's not 100% of your money back. Only a partial refund. I have a partial right now, by the way. I'll talk to you about it offline. Number 4, the top 10 worst $10,000 pyramid skipping, so blah blah doody. Things that embody your own self-image. See, this I gotta stop. I'm gonna put a stop to it. I'm not gonna go any further. This is just poorly written, and this is funny. This is the first one that I did This is the second time I've done this stupid list. I didn't even know enough to skip over. Jeez, what a disappointment. This is for everybody involved, myself included. Anyway, I got 3 left. What the hell? Just ram through it. It's the same thing that my ex-wife said to me on our honeymoon night. Top 10 worst $10,000 pyramid skip games to do. Reasons we think why dogs sniff each other's asses. Not funny. Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Sorry. Not sorry. Hamburger. Number 2. Reasons why one might think that political correctness was engineered by the right to infuse divisiveness and hatred among lefties. Obviously not funny at all. And number 1, to the top of the list of the things of the top 10 worst $10,000 pyramid game show prize round topics. Things that someone uses snail slime as an erotic lubricant might say during a college commencement speech. Oh, man. Wow. The top 10 worst list ever. At some point, I'm going to compile, I'll jot it down, top 10 worst list of the top 10 worst lists. This one didn't have one single funny one in any of them. Sorry to say. Wow. I think this is going to it could wind up dragging down my stellar worldwide reputation for having perhaps the funniest, if not, one of the top 2 or 3 top 10 worst of lists anywhere to behold in the English language. It could tarnish my reputation. Sully it, even. And how about that Sully, huh? Ooh, saving all those passengers by landing the airplanes on the Hudson River. And he could have easily diverted it and flown it into the side of the Pentagon. It's just, such a shame that all those birds had to die and the passengers had to live. There's nothing, Jesus Christ. Now making matters a lot worse now with my repartee swirling down into completely regrettable territory as well. Anyway, let's just finish it all. What the heck? It's been so much fun. It put the fun in fundament. Fundament is another word for the brown starfish. The brown starfish. The devil's lettuce. All right, so the outro, real quick. Everything I've said here is opinions. Nothing has to do with anything besides that. And, if I made some things that have totally, sort of put your nose out of joint, put a burr in your saddle, grinded your gears, or, made you regret life itself. Just remember that it's not nearly as bad as listening to an Eagles song. But I've got, hey, look, I do these things, these lo-fi things as a means of, sort of trying to inspire other people to do their thing. Because it's not a big whoop. Here, I jot down, obviously didn't spend a lot of time on the goddamn top 10 list. This one. I just, just phone technology. Just get the phone going and just slap it up on the internet and wait for the insults to come flying at me. And then try my best to say, dear sir, I'm so sorry that you felt this angry by any of my opinions. It was not my intent. Then again, I didn't feel that anything that you said was revealing of someone who I should respect the opinions of. So up your nose with a rubber hose, buddy. And thank you, Polly Shore. Polly Shore has got the thing. Why don't you watch Polly Shore's podcast or something? Maybe that'll make you feel a little bit better about who you are, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. No, but seriously, I don't know. People, it can't all be Maseratis. What do you want me to tell you? That I feel so incredibly bad about this one being a really low performance level of guffaws and chortles that I wouldn't do anymore. No, I'm going to do probably one more, right? After I finish this one, or slightly afterwards. If I could get enough energy together, and just remember that the biggest torture in your life, if this is the biggest torture in your life, something like that can be overcome by doing something yourself. There's so much need out there. So many people that want and need human touch, human connection, everything like that. That rather than spending time on bashing the hell out of somebody that you disagree with, why don't you just move along and do something nice for somebody? Do something nice, helpful, and uplifting for somebody in their lives, because lives are completely horrible right now. Everybody's feeling so alone, so desperate, and so angry about the way things are turning out for the human race, and we're right up against it. So why not just volunteer for something? God damn it! There's so many things. You could be on a on a helpline for people in desperate straits. You could be, the old traditional soup kitchen and stuff like that. I'm sure they're going to be skyrocketing any minute now. They're going to have frickin' Hoovervilles up the yin-yang any minute if they don't change things, which I don't see any reason for them to change things. And then, here comes the AI robots, so on and so forth. Bada bing, bada boom. It's off to death camps for the human race. Anyway, that's all the time we got to leave on that optimistic note. Smash the like button for me, won't you? Smash it. Smash it. And we'll catch you next time.